After 12 years of study, Śvetaketu returns to his home in the ancient Kuru Panchala forests. He arrives with the rigid posture of someone who believes he has mastered the sacred Vedas, viewing the world through the lens of academic achievement. Waiting for him at their stone academy is his father and teacher, the sage Uddālaka Āruṇi. Upon arriving, his father Uddālaka immediately senses his son's conceit, observing a mind focused on the names and forms of things, ignoring their actual essence. Accumulated facts have left Śvetaketu with information, but his father sees he lacks fundamental wisdom. Uddālaka presents his son with a paradox. Did you ask for that instruction by which the unhearable becomes heard and the unknowable becomes known? He is asking Śvetaketu to identify the single root cause of the universe. The foundation that, once understood, reveals the true nature of all its effects. Śvetaketu cannot answer. In an instant, 12 years of intellectual pride vanish. Humbled, the young scholar requests his father to instruct him, stepping down from the pedestal of the expert to become a student once more. To understand the universe, Śvetaketu must first abandon his certainty and look past the visible surface to the invisible essence within. Uddālaka begins the lesson by questioning the true nature of the physical objects surrounding them. He points to the work of a potter. While we might call these objects pots or plates, those are temporary labels. The underlying reality is the clay itself. He applies this logic to jewelry. Despite the different names we give to rings or necklaces, the gold remains the single reality beneath the form. A blacksmith uses one lump of iron to create many different tools, yet the iron constitutes the reality of everything he shapes. In every single case, the material cause remains the same, while the effect takes on a temporary name and shape. Just like the clay, gold, or iron, the entire visible cosmos is a physical manifestation of a single uniform reality. Transitioning to the organic world, Uddālaka gestures toward a massive banyan tree. He instructs Śvetaketu to cut open a tiny banyan seed. When the boy looks inside, he finds what appears to be nothing. Yet Uddālaka explains that this invisible, microscopic essence is the undeniable cause of the tree's existence. To demonstrate how an essence can pervade an object without being seen, he has his son dissolve salt in a cup of water. The next morning, the salt is invisible, but sipping from any part of the cup proves its presence is everywhere in the water. Human senses are wedded to external objects, meaning they often fail to detect intangible truths. Reality is an invisible essence permeating everything, hidden from the eye but present in every particle. This lesson extends to the illusion of individual identity, starting with bees gathering nectar from flowers. Once the nectars merge into honey, they lose their individual consciousness of being a specific flower. The same principle applies to individual rivers flowing toward the sea. They maintain their names and boundaries for a time until they collide with the expanse of the ocean. At contact, the rivers transcend their individual identities, leaving behind labels like Ganga or Yamuna. When an individual reaches ultimate being, their superficial ego and bodily distinctions dissolve into unified essence. If this ultimate truth is invisible to our senses and minds, how do we find our way toward it? The Upanishad describes a traveler who is blindfolded and abandoned in a perilous, unfamiliar wilderness, far from his home in Gandhara. He stumbles through the shadows, crying out for help and unable to see the path beneath his feet. Like this traveler, our physical senses have confounded us, making us incapable of finding our way back to our source on our own. Only when a guide arrives to remove the blindfold and point the way can the traveler begin his journey home. Escaping the illusion of material reality requires the intervention and guidance of a master who has already seen the truth. Returning to Śvetaketu, Uddālaka explains that the macrocosm of the universe is perfectly reflected in the microcosm of his own body. Every element the boy considers his identity, his mind, his body, his ego, is a temporary shape taken by the Supreme Being. Uddālaka imparts the final words of his instruction, Tat Tvam Asi. He tells his son that the subtle essence of the universe is the truth, the Atman, the reality within him. His being belongs to the same substance as the cosmos itself. The foundational essence of all existence cannot be seen, but it is the truth of every soul, that thou art.